Hi there guys, and welcome back to another solo run challenge on the RetroBrown channel. Today we're in Johto and we are using Pineco as our Pokemon for this solo run. Yeah, a Pineco. This is going to be a difficult run, especially when you look at the moveset that we have for Pineco. I mean, it does get Protect, which it starts off with at level 1, but the first move that we can learn via level up is Self-Destruct, which is not good because we're on a solo run. We use Self-Destruct, we pretty much are just ending the run there, really, so there's no real point of needing Self-Destruct. And Pineco is actually a very bad Pokemon looking at it in hindsight. Johto seems to have this problem with every Pokemon being very, very slow, and we've got only 15 base speed to be able to do this run with. So even against the very first rival, we're going to have a struggle here. We've got decent attack and we've got decent defense. After that though, that base total of 290 is just not going to be enough to cut it, really. And you'll start seeing in a lot of the battles how that moveset and those stats become such of an issue for a Pineco run. We do alright against the rival to start off with though. Because we do have that berry, which I always forget to unequipped, and it does go against my rules to have that equipped, I just completely forget that it is. We do manage to beat that battle and progress on. But the first gym that comes up is Falconer, which is a flying type gym. And yeah, I always have a problem against the Spearow trainer right at the start, and even at level 9, we're just not going to do enough damage to be able to get past it. He's doing 11 damage per hit. Even using Protect can't stall it out, and yeah, we're going to go down to about 3 hits a peck. So we need to level up, that's all we can really do. And once we've leveled up a bit, you've got Sprout Tower there where you can get a few levels. We have a better chance against this this bird trainer. So at level 12, when it's only now doing 7 damage to us, and that's because of the defense increases we have on our base stats. And we can take down that Spearow quite comfortably and move to level 13. Falconer, on the other hand, because he's got 2 Pokemon we've got to stall out and do enough damage to, it's going to be a different story. The Pidgey's not going to be too much of a problem. It's only doing 3 damage to us. We didn't go into this at full HP. We can't use Self-Destruct, which would be the most powerful move we have. But it's just, we're going into that Pidgeotto with 18 HP. It's doing 11 damage with Gust. And yeah, we're going to need a few more levels. It's not even a case of leveling up. Well, it's not even a case of going in with full HP. We do need to level up here. It's the only thing we can do. And since we've beaten all the trainers, all we could do was go against the Metapods and level up to level 15 where we can then get the move Takedown. Now, I don't usually like moves like this. I don't like moves that cause recoil, because if we're doing a solo run, we need to keep our HP up. But in this early stage where we don't have too many Pokemon to go against, a move like Takedown is fantastic. It's 90 base power, 85% accuracy, and it just gives us a lot more bulk to be able to do damage. If we needed to change to another move, then Tackle is really our only other option. The next move we can get via level up is Rapid Spin at level 22, and if you're not in competitive play, I don't really see the point of using Rapid Spin on these runs. It might be worth it against Koga because he actually does set up spikes, but other than that, there's no real need to use Rapid Spin on these runs. If we'd actually started out with it, fair enough, but yeah, no other real need for it. And it's at this point in the game that I actually made a bit of a blunder. Because I've been playing so much Gen 1, I completely forgot how Struggle works. And it caused me a lot of problems here. Bugsy was not really that much of a problem, really, to be fair. Because we've got really good defense, we can tank a lot of his hits, and we can, even with the Cypher who decides to use Fury Cutter, if he gets too far into Fury Cutter that makes us uncomfortable, we can use Protect and then it has to reset. But because of that, Bugsy is actually quite an easy battle. What's not an easy battle though is the rival here, and this is where I forgot how Struggle worked. In Gen 1, Struggle can't hit Ghost type Pokemon, sorry. And you can see me looking around at my options here and I'm thinking, oh, there's literally nothing I can do here, this is a reset. And because I was in such a Gen 1 mode, I thought I was just going to have to level up as high as I could to get by to level 29, because that would actually hit the Ghost type Pokemon. So I actually got up to level 27 and I got bored with training. And that's when I called my friend and he said, yeah, in Gen 2, Struggle can actually hit Ghost-type Pokemon, and I felt so stupid. It's why I'm pausing so long here against this Ghastly after taking out in one hit, because I was just like, I am such an idiot for forgetting that it works differently in Gen 2. It really, really got on my nerves, and this is why I'm just hanging on here for so long, just like, I had to stand up and take a little walk away, because I was just thinking, like, I'm doing these runs so often, like, how did I forget this Struggle hits Ghost-type Pokemon in this generation? It actually would have really helped me out in the Tyrogue run if I'd remembered that. But yeah, after we've got Struggle and we realise how it actually works, the battle becomes so easy. And I'm really annoyed at how over-leveled we are right now, because we probably could have done that at a lower level. But we've managed to get through Azalea Town and the rival, and we can move on to Whitney. Now Whitney is not going to be that much of a problem. We've picked up Headbutt, we've got Return. Return is a fantastic move, probably one of the moves we'll take throughout the rest of the run. And the Miltank, even though it does a lot of damage, it starts flinching us with Stomp. Not great. But best thing it could do in this scenario was to use Rollout, because then we can use Protect and stall it out. And annoyingly she uses Milk Drink. It's very annoying when you get down to those lower health brackets and she starts using Milk Drink, but I had to use Protect at certain points to make sure that she wasn't going to be recovering, well, using Rollout consecutively and doing more and more damage to us. Thankfully though, she misses that Rollout, Headbutt hits, and we take out Whitney on the first try. Still not happy at this because of how high level we are compared to other runs we've done. This is probably one of the highest levels I've ever had to be apart from the Wooper run. And it's not setting a good precedence for how good Pineco will be in the rest of this run, really. But moving on, we can go over to Morty, and now I know Struggle actually does work. We can see how we do against him. We have picked up Rollout, because we needed another move really to actually get us through these battles. We've equipped Attract. Because we are a female Pokemon, the majority of Pokemon in these major battles are male, so it's worth having Attract even if it is for the later game. But then, annoyingly, we get put to sleep. If you get put to sleep in Morty's battle or you get cursed, you're fighting against the clock and it just becomes an absolute chew-on. On this attempt, we don't get put to sleep, we get up to level 33. We've got Rollouts just tearing through the team now, and Morty becomes very easy. Because of our awful speed though, even though we are so much high level compared to his Pokemon, we still don't outspeed. I really don't understand what Game Freak was doing with Gen 2 with how slow the Pokemon are. It really makes no sense when there's some Pokemon which honestly I feel like should have been a lot quicker. So we can move on to Chuck and we can try and expand the game out a bit. I could go over to Price as he would be an easier gym leader really, just in general. But we managed to do alright against this Primeape here. The Poliwrath, if it goes to Dynamic Punch, we've got a bit of a problem. Surf is not great as well. Our special defense is not very good at all. And if it can hit us, we're going to lose. So we need to hit with 2 more returns. And then it hits with Surf. And we hang on with 1 HP, which I was not expecting. Pineco really looked out there. And we've beaten Chuck on our first try, which I was not expecting whatsoever. Next up though is going to be... I was stuck for choice. And I'd say, considering it's on the way, we'll go against Jasmine, we'll see how we do against her, but with the moveset we've got, I was not looking confident. We're level 37, because we've literally just come straight from his gym. We use a Protect to try and make sure he doesn't use Thunder Wave, but either way, these Magnemite are programmed to use Thunder Wave and Supersonic before they even start attacking you. So, yeah, we're going to need a lot more levels to even get past him. So the only other place we really can go is over to Mahogany Town and the Lake of Rage. We can go against the Gyarados here, and even against this Gyarados, Pineco really struggles. And it's because the Gyarados starts using Dragon Rage. We only have 50 base HP, so if we don't have great HP going into this area of the game. But we can get a lot of levels up on the Rocket side quest. It is a really tedious side quest that you can't avoid, but it does get you up a lot of levels. The admins, they're very weak. The level curve in this game really needed sorting out, and if someone has a ROM hack where this has actually been sorted, I would love to play that version. If you can link it in the comments. The Murkrow, because he's got Peck, does a lot of damage to us, which makes me worried about Karen's Murkrow later on in the game. But because we've set up a few rollouts, we don't have to worry against the Gloom, we can beat her quite easily. Like, we're level 41 and our speed is 49, this is not looking promising. And we are a first stage evolution, which means that that late game is going to be incredibly difficult. But we can move on to Price. His Seal, Dugong and Piloswine aren't going to be too much of a problem. We are weak to Ice, but it's not like he's a very strong combatant. Aurora Beam doesn't do very much, and we're going into the Piloswine with a decent amount of HP. Piloswine, it's not going to do very much. I mean, Blizzard is not a great move to use on us, but if we could hit with one more return... he goes for Hyper Potion. Yeah, he's probably going to win this one now. We did do half damage there. I did use Protect to try and stall out the amount of PP he had left on Blizzard. And there we go, he should be out of Blizzard PP now. And we take him out in the second hit. So yeah, first time victory against Price, but that leaves Jasmine left before we can go over to Claire. And considering we didn't do very well against Jasmine last time, we have got no moves which are really very good against her. We could go and learn Rock Smash, but it's only a 20 base power move. But it would be super effective against the steel types. We really don't have a lot to work with here. So I had to change up the strategy a little bit. We do have Rock Smash on the moveset, but Return is a good move to be using here. It's doing around about the same amount of damage as Rock Smash would be, but the Steelix is the big problem. So we need to attract it so it's going to stop attacking us really. Then we can use Rock Smash and hopefully get those defense drops and hope that the Infatuation stops it from attacking us. We had it twice in a row there, and we only have one defense drop, which is really annoying. So we're just going to keep going with Rock Smash because we know that Hyper Potion is coming out soon. There's the Hyper Potion. Can we get the defense drop? We still haven't had one. Flipping heck, we've only had one defense drop. That is not good at all. Thankfully, that Attract is really working in our favour. We finally get another defense drop, and one Return or one Rock Smash should take it out here. That just leaves the final Magnemite. Now we know Return's going to do about half damage. Rock Smash, we get a critical hit and take it out in one. But we had to be level 47 for that to happen. We did go on a big training curve there just to make sure we can get up the levels. But level 47 was the first time that I managed to beat Jasmine, and that means I took the win and I went. I didn't go back to see if we could improve and make that consistent. We tried so many times against Jasmine, it just wasn't worth it. I wanted to keep going. That moves us on to the rival in Goldenrod in the Underground. We take a lot of damage from his Golbat, but we have set up a little bit of rollout. But Quilava gets a Flame Wheel in because we're so slow and manages to take us out. So we need to outspeed, or we need to have a lot of HP going into that Quilava. If we don't, then we're fighting against the clock really of how much we can dish out. We get confused straight away on this one, but we do get the Attract in, so we're hoping for those Infatuations to keep it from attacking and setting up our rollout. If we can go into that Quilava with over 100 HP, we should be able to tank one Flame Wheel. Can we? It goes to Smokescreen, which is perfect. We can get past the Quilava without taking any damage. Smokescreen might be annoying later on, but we've got a max power rollout. Magnemite goes down. We've just got Haunter left, and Haunter and the Kadabra, sorry. Haunter goes down, and Sneasel, sorry, Kadabra is the next Pokemon he gets. Returners should do big damage, and we take him out. So it didn't take too many tries, but the rival and the Underground was still a bit of a chore. Moving on, we can go against the admin in the Goldenrod Tower, and he's got two fire Pokemon, so rollout would be the best strategy to do here if we can set up, but we missed the first one, and Return thankfully does take it out in one. Annoyingly though, the Houndoom is very powerful. Ember, we just hang on, and Return manages to take it out in one, so we're looking pretty good here, and there's just the Coffin left. If this Coffin hits us with a Sludge, we probably won't do too well here. So we need to make sure we outspeeded. Return doesn't take him out, but he uses Tackle and we can get through without losing. We didn't even go in that battle with full HP. And that moves us on to Claire. So we have managed to recover a bit of time here. The most annoying thing about Claire is all of her Dragonairs have Thunder Wave, and they spam it a lot. So until you get paralysed, they will spam Thunder Wave. We've only got one Dragonair left, but we can't even get past that Dragonair. We haven't even seen the Kingdra yet. We had to get up to level 54, and we're still not one-shotting it with Return. But it does look like it's a damage range because we managed to take out the second one and the third one in one hit. So we're on full HP going into the Kingdra. We're going to go for Rollout, and we do take it out because we wanted to make sure we weren't doing enough that she would then use a Hyper Potion, and Rollout was the way to slowly build up that damage. That brings us on to the Victory Road rival. So Sneasel's his first Pokemon. It goes down pretty quickly. Annoyingly, the Golbat does confuse us, but a second... Yeah, it doesn't look like we're doing very well here. Typhlosion comes out, it goes to Smokescreen, and we still don't take it out in one. We got 16 HP going into the last 3 Pokemon, and we miss on Rollout. Luck was just not on our side there. That is very annoying. It's annoying that a 90 base accuracy move just can't hit a lot more than it should. We missed so many times with Pineco, it was unbelievable. The Smokescreen doesn't hit there, so we've got full accuracy going into the Magneton. We hit the Magneton, there's just 2 Pokemon left. We don't care about mean luck, we just want to roll out and take out all of his Pokemon without worrying. Annoyingly, the confusion stops our rollout, but Kadabra is physically weak, so one return takes him out. And that moves us on to the Elite Four. And this is where the run starts getting more and more difficult. We do not have great matchups, we do not have great moves. This is going to be a slog, and I don't know what level is going to be possible to actually beat the Elite Four on. And before we can even get to Lance and figure that out, we have got Will to contend with. Now his Zartus are powerful, and we need to at least hit him twice with a rollout to take out Zartu. But we get confused, of course we always get confused, and we're on 27 HP going into the second Pokemon. This is not going to be easy. So he brings out his second Zartu and it outspeeds and takes us out. So if we can level up a bit and outspeed, then we should have a chance. And it took us to level 71 to be able to even make this battle possible. We still weren't outspeeding, but level 71, we still lose. So we had to go up even higher. We had to be at level 75, and we were starting to outspeed things here. Not the Zartus, they are still pretty quick, but the Executor, we managed to attract, and we can get rid of the confusion and start using Return to sweep through. I didn't think I would have to be level 75 just to beat Will, but this is what we had to do to even make this battle consistent. We started off at level 58 going into the Elite Four, and we're now 17 levels above before we even have a chance of beating Will. And this just shows how bad Pineco actually is. Maybe in double battles, maybe in VGC, Fortress had a really good standing to actually be viable, but Pineco in no way is a good Pokemon to use for a solo run. We do not outspeed the Crobat. It is one of the fastest Pokemon in Gen 2. And annoyingly, we don't get a defense drop on the Rock Smash. Wing Attack will do decent damage, but we're moving into the next Pokemon wave. So it's Pineco against Fortress. Which one is going to beat the other here? I'm thinking Rock Smash is probably the better move to be using here. We know that Fortress is not going to really attack us. It has got Attract up, and we can get those defense drops on it and just gradually chip it down. When we've got it down enough, Return can take it out, and we can move on to the Muck. Return's the best player to be using here. It does big damage and nearly takes it out in one. The Minimize doesn't make any difference, and we beat Koga first try. Koga on the other hand, Bruno is going to be a bit of a slog as well. Hitmontop, yeah, it's defensively weak, so's the Hitmonchan, but the Onix is going to be a problem. So I actually should have went for Rock Smash here. Even though it didn't do as much damage as Return does, those defense drops will have definitely helped us. Next up is the Machamp, and Sandstorm is up, so we're against the clock here. Rock Slide does big damage, and Sandstorm takes out. We need to hit with this Return, and it's what we do hit the Hitmonlee and take it out in one. So that is a first try victory against Bruno. He's not the best trainer. He has been more of a problem in Gen 2 than he was in Gen 1. But he was still not easy there for a Pineco that was nearly 20 levels above some of his Pokemon. Moving into Karen, the biggest problem we've got here again is the Houndoom. And then we have this Vileplume to contend with. We do manage to get a... No, we're not going to win this. The Gengar is probably going to be the biggest problem here. We need to time our rollouts perfectly so we can get past the Umbreon, we can get past the Houndoom, and we can get past the Gengar. Flamethrower is always going to do massive damage, and then we need to start setting up the rollout on the Vileplume. Thankfully, we do get Stun Spot. That is not good. Okay, so next up is the Gengar. We haven't set up rollout, and for some reason, all he does is go for Lick, which is crazy. We managed to get through without being cursed and survive on 5 HP to take out the Murkrow with a rollout. That was lucky. Tell you what's not lucky is how many times it took me to try and beat Lance. Lance is ridiculous to fight against as a Pineco. Rollout is our best move because most of his Pokemon are weak to Rock. So this is the reason why we've kept Rollout this long. Rock Slide is super effective against us, but we can take out the Aerodactyl, not much problem. Next is Charizard, whose Flamethrower is a beast against us. Every single major battle we have a very bad type matchup against. We managed to take out the Dragonite, but he's still got 2 Pokemon left and we got 30 HP. So unless Attract works and Return does big damage, nah, we're not going to win. So what level did we actually manage to beat him at? Well, level 80, we tried it at level 80. The Downpour starts, and we actually want that Downpour from Rain Dance to stay up for when that Charizard comes in. We have put Rest on our moveset now as well, so we can get a bit of HP back, but because of that, we're not going to have the Rain up for when we go against the Charizard. But having Rest on our moveset and having the defense that we do, considering Lance is a very physical trainer, it actually gives us a chance at winning. So the Charizards come out now. Flamethrower does big damage and we need to take out this Charizard in one. We do. And next is the Dragonite. We do outspeed it and take it out with one rollout. Next is another Dragonite. It's another rollout KO. Can we get one more? And there is Lance. So level 80 is what level we had to beat Lance consistently. And even do it full stop, really. And that was an absolute slog. It took me ages to get here. So we did this at level 80 with a Pineco, and that took us 7 hours and 7 in-game minutes to do, which is crazy. In real time, that's about 3.5 hours just to get to that point. And that just leaves the post-game. So as you're seeing here, we're going against Blue, and Blue, strangely, wasn't that big of a problem. We do manage to get the Attract off on the Pidgeot. We have Rest still. And what we're kind of hoping for is to get our HP back up before we go into the next Pokemon, really, but I misclicked to use Return, and we don't really have an answer here for the Rhydon. We could have went and learned Giga Drain, but Rest was a more crucial move to have, really. And the only thing we're going to have to do is stall out this Sandstorm and hope Rollout just keeps chipping away at the Rhydon. So we're at 44 HP going into the Arcanine, but it outspeeds and a Flamethrower takes us out, so we need to change up the strategy. That was just very bad play from my part. So we have equipped a Giga Drain here. I'm going to equip Rollout, and it's going to do about half damage on the Pidgeot. We're level 91 now. We've had to level up to make this consistent. And Return is going to take it out in the second hit. And we've got a good amount of HP going into the Rhydon. It didn't really make much difference how much HP we had. We just need to get through the Rhydon to heal up. Giga Drain is a one-shot KO, and we're at full HP going into the Arcanine. Now this is the big stopping point in this attempt. We need to get Attract off, and Flamethrower does massive damage, so it all comes down to this next hit. He doesn't hit us, and Return makes contact, and it's a one-shot critical hit. That's perfect. Considering how bad our speed is, I'm surprised that even hit. So we outspeed the Gyarados and we use Attract. This is why I kept Attract for so long, because it is such an overpowered move that I've found on these solo runs. And if you start with a female Pokemon, you have got a very good advantage over a lot of these players. So with the Gyarados, even though Giga Drain is not super effective, I want to get a bit more health up for the Pokemon coming up next. we've got the Executor, and we've got the Alakazam. Now neither of them are going to be super effective against us, but Return should do big damage against the Executor. We could use Attract to make sure we have a little bit of insurance, and it doesn't attack us. So we can use Return, do big damage on the Executor. It's going to take 2 returns to take it out. It doesn't attack us again, and we've got a free turn to use Giga Drain, get a tiny bit more HP back, and he takes in Sunlight, so we have to take it out this turn. And that just leaves the Alakazam, and I hope we've got enough HP to now take him out with 1 return. He goes for Reflect, which is not good. It's going to take 2 returns. He goes for a cover, but this return should take him out. It does. And that's Blue beaten with a Pineco at level 91. Tell you what's not going to be easy. As always, Red is the very last battle on these Johto Solo Runs, and he is a nightmare. So we're going in at level 91. Thunder does big damage, and I mean colossal damage. But Pikachu is physically weak, so 1 return is going to be enough to take him out. Next up is the Venusaur, and he only sends this Venusaur out because he wants to set up the sun. If we can stall out all the solar beams, we could do really well, but we've got Giga Drain, not Rest. And it probably would have been a better circumstance to have Rest here, but it just wasn't going to be that possible. So it takes in Sunlight again, and the sun is not up now going into the Charizard, but we are not going to outspeed it. It is a very speedy Pokemon, and we get taken out in 1. So I went up to level 100. Well, not yet. I went up to level 95 first to see if just a few more levels can make the difference. And annoyingly, the Pikachu goes for Charm. Charm is an awful move for that Pikachu to have. It reduces your attack by 2 stages, and we are a physical attacking Pokemon here. So Sunny Day is set up. Rollout does alright damage. 1 Solar Beam is not going to be too much problem, but I hope we can tank it with 189 HP, because we've got that Charizard coming up next. If we can get past the Charizard, we could possibly have a chance to heal against the Blastoise, but Sun's up, Flamethrower hits, and we get taken down. So we moved up to level 100, and even at this level, I'll admit, we've got a problem here. I tried this so many times, and the only way this became possible was with Double Team. So that means that Pineco will not go in those higher tiers for its end time. It is going to go in those lower tiers because it had to rely on Double Team. That's how I know it's a bad Pokemon. We get through the Pikachu and we don't have great HP. And I'll be honest as well, this isn't even the attempt that we managed to beat him at. I'm very annoyed to say this, but again, OBS let me down and I didn't actually capture that footage. So we don't even have the attempt where we managed to make it possible, and I'm very sorry for that, guys. But after wasting so much time on this run, it just became... I couldn't be bothered going back and trying it all again with a Pineco. Maybe at another point I will do that and get the footage, but it just wasn't worth my time. But Double Team was the only way we could get past Red with a Pineco. And even with Double Team set up, we still didn't have the best chances to win. As soon as 1 Flamethrower hits, we have got barely any chance to win. We've been charmed, so our attack is down, and we're running out of PP quite quickly. Flamethrower doesn't hit there. It's going to take 1 more return for that Charizard to take us out. And next up is the Snorlax, who is very defensively bulky. And we're running out of PP. And it's just becoming so tedious. We're doing very little damage with return. Thankfully it doesn't hit us. It's going to be at least a 5-hit KO with return. If we hadn't have been charmed at the beginning of this attempt, we probably would have done this a lot quicker. We can't even use Giga Drain right now, because we're saving that for the Blastoise. So we've got 2 Pokemon left here, and he uses Rain Dance. I go for Attract. Giga Drain hits. It doesn't do very much damage at all. So we have to rely on return. Surf, because Rain Dance is up, is going to do massive damage when it hits. We're on 81 HP. This is going to come right down to the wire, this attempt, but As I said earlier, this is not the winning attempt. I'm just showing you how close we got with this strategy, because this is the only footage I have that shows where it was nearly possible. It was possible. I did manage to defeat the game, but we get hit by Espeon with Psychic and we get taken out. So, as shameful as this is, I'm just going to look towards this tree and hang my head in shame that I do not have this footage for you guys. But we did manage to beat Red with a Pineco. You just have to take my word for it on that right now. And we'll just have a look at the stats and see how we go from there. Like, I am very ashamed. I am very, very ashamed. Look at that tree. You do not deserve to look at our viewers right now. So, Pineco, at level 100. This is the moveset that we had to manage to actually complete the game. It was Return, Curse, Rest, and Double Team. It was not worth our time having Giga Drain. It was not worth our time having Rollout. This was the moveset that actually managed to make it possible. Because we can use Curse to counteract Charm. Return is a fantastic move to be using. And what time did we actually finish it in? So we finished this at 9 hours and 9 minutes, putting Pineco right at the bottom of pretty much all of our tier listings. And that's the end of the video, guys. But as we do now, we always do the next spin of the wheel at the end of this one. So let's see what we're getting up for you guys next week. First up on the wheel, we are going to have, I really want a good baby Pokemon. Okay, Chinchou's first. I actually really like the Chinchou line. Water Electric is a fantastic typing and would be a very good run, I think. Next up we have Lugia. Oh, considering how bad of a run that one was, I could really do it with a legendary, but what have we got left? Togepi. Screw it, we're going with Togepi for the next video. Right guys, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, please smash that like and subscribe button, you legends. And we'll see you on the next video with a Togepi solo run. Take care now.